This is It's Not in the Syllabus podcast, the how-tos of a student beyond classroom walls. This is the podcast where you, yes you, get to learn what they don't teach you at school and ace that test called life, or at least get a passing grade and get by. It's Not in the Syllabus is a podcast brought to you by the Adventist International Institute of Advanced Studies, together with the Student Association, where we feature stories by the students and for the students. Join us as we discover life lessons you'll surely need.
Welcome to another episode of It's Not in the Syllabus, the how-tos of the students beyond class wall. In this month, we are talking about the challenges and opportunity in 21st century. Today, we are going to talk about the challenge in dissertation writing, a student's and advisor perspective. So this is part 2. For us to understand this particular topic, we have now part 2 from graduate school. I have 2 guests with me. One is Dr. Prema Gaikwad. Dr. Prema, good to see you here.
Nice to be here.
Good. Dr. Prema Gaikwad is a professor. She also teaches instructional curriculum and research.
Yes.
Am I correct? Very good. So she will be doing the advisor point of view. And then we have with us also Ate. Ate is like a sister language in the Philippines. So Sister Catherine Valera.
Yes.
Correct? She's in the Education Department. She's a PhD candidate. She's writing now. She's emphasizing in administration. Correct?
That's right.
Good. So how are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited for this conversation.
Good. We are also excited to have you here. We are here to discuss about thesis, the challenges of writing from the advisor perspective and the student perspective. So let's actually begin with the question. Maybe I'll begin with Dr. Prema. Dr. Prema, are there any specific challenge that advisors face when working with students in their thesis or dissertation? Is there any specific challenges?
Well, in any endeavor,
Yes.
challenges are part of
Correct.
life. Yeah. So, complex activity, process like writing thesis or dissertation,
Yeah.
from the student's point of view and also from the advisor's point of view,
Okay.
definitely have challenges, and the challenges may come in many forms. It may be, personal. It can be situational. It can be related to the student itself. Yeah, there are many types of challenges.
Okay.
You wish to know what they are?
Yeah, at least 2. I know mine.
Yes. One of them is the life of the advisor, the busy professional life of the advisor.
Yeah.
The class load that can be very, very heavy. Then research advising itself, that can be heavy with many students. We have very few faculty, and
Correct.
can be a dense group that is assigned to you. It can be the activities that you're engaged in that you really enjoy. The campus, the spiritual activities, social activities, other academic activities. If one were to enjoy campus life, those are part of life, right? And
Yes.
that can keep you. And the family that the advisor has, of course, need attention. Families need attention.
Correct.
Yeah.
They do. So actually, those are. It seems to me those are common challenges that
Right.
each of us face. And in fact, what you mentioned, that even advisors also face those challenges,
Sure.
the workload and so many other things. Catherine, now you are writing, correct?
Yes, that's right.
So can you tell us some of the common struggles now, coming from your heart? I know you're a very bright student, by the way, but is the common struggles that you face, you are facing as you write your dissertation?
Thank you for that compliment. I hope I am. Yeah, the common struggles. Since I'm doing qualitative, let me give an answer based on themes as well. Okay, so let me thematize the common struggles that students experience.
Yeah.
First, personal skills, and then research skills, and social support.
Okay.
When I say personal skills, I mean these are the abilities of the students to manage their time, to balance their work, their personal activities, and their studies.
Yeah.
You know, dissertation writing requires significant time commitment.
They do.
Yeah. And then if you do not know how to balance your time, allocate the ample time to your dissertation writing, then you will not finish on time.
Correct.
Another is
Social support. You said.
social support. And when we say dissertation writing, it needs our mental power, mental, emotional, what else? Physical, financial.
Yeah.
And to meet these needs, social support is needed.
Correct.
So social support is required. This may be given by our advisor, the members of the panel, the members of the family, our professors,
Yeah.
and then our fellow students.
Correct.
Students can also be mentors.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I mentioned, support, so research skills.
Research skill.
Whether we accept it or not, some students have inadequate research skills. There are still students who have difficulty making sense of the data and analyzing data, accessing resources,
Correct.
resource persons, what else? And another is some students lack English language facility.
Yeah, writing skills.
That's right,
Yeah.
academic writing. So if you are not equipped with this, you will really struggle in
Yeah.
finishing your dissertation.
And plus, we have, when it comes to academic skill, there is a language barrier where students their native language is not English.
Yes.
So now is now advised to write a dissertation in English.
That's right.
So, anyways, but
That's right.
it's a real
Problem.
is a really struggle. So, Dr. Prema, are there any resources or strategy that advisor can use to help students overcome dissertation writing challenges?
Of course, there are so many resources that are available. The first is, of course, the research committee itself. Okay, the advisor plays a very, very important role
Correct.
in helping the student navigate through the initial stages of the research process.
Correct.
Having the student a problem that the student is really in love with, enthusiastic about, is the first thing the advisor must see. How enthusiastic the student is about the topic.
Yeah.
It can be seen emotionally and otherwise. Okay. So when a person wants to do something, there will be time for it. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the first thing. It's like a diagnostic process. All right. But it may not be always easy to find that one. But giving feedback promptly, okay, shows your enthusiasm
As well.
from the advisor's side. Because when a student comes to you, requesting to be an advisor, you are an expert in that area.
Correct.
Okay, and you are very much interested, as much you are interested in that topic as a student.
Correct.
Right? And so when you're interested, you will have time to help that student, no matter how busy you are. All right. Then, of course, the other committee members, when you select the committee members, usually the research advisor has some role in selecting the committee members. Carefully select the members so that you have a good working relationship. Now, of course, I cannot say there's any problem with any of the colleagues at AIIAS,
Yes.
but how busy right now that member is, that methodologist is, and the member is, all that can be computed in the formula here. And also providing peer support. This is
support.
very, very, very important.
Correct.
Because dissertation writing for a student is a very lonely journey.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
unlike the classes, okay, where they can help one another. But this is like a personal model of teaching strategies where you do it alone. All right, and so having others who are in the same boat coming together, either the advisor can arrange for it,
Yes.
or encourage the students to
join.
find time and group that can help one another.
Okay.
These are wonderful ways. And give them the resources where they can find materials, what kind of apps they can go for, the library resources, previous studies done by students and other scholars, because you yourself should be up to date
Yes.
as a professor in that area, and that will help a lot.
Now, Dr. Prema, actually, this is a follow-up in our conversation. Two follow-ups. The first is the enthusiasm, student enthusiasm in the topic,
Yes.
and then the professor also enthusiasm in the topic. Now, you are enthusiastic about your topic, but your advisor not so much. How do you deal with that?
Yes, it's a very unfortunate situation if that is the way it is. So from the student's point of view, it's okay to remind the advisor, I have given you the document, it may
Yes.
be the proposal, first chapter, and it's already 3 weeks since I gave you. Is there any update on that? Do not feel shy to
Ask.
ask and you
Yes.
shall receive, right?
Amen.
And so many times, the culture that we may have, especially as Asians, we feel very reluctant to
Approach the
ask an
elders.
elderly person, older than us at least, because they are very busy and how can I ask? They may not feel good. No, sometimes it may be that the advisor has forgotten. There are so many of these students who they
Yes.
are helping, and
Yes.
genuinely they must have forgotten. But if the advisor is not very, very interested, you may have to help the advisor to move along. That's a very, very strange thing,
Correct,
but it's much better if the advisor from the onset just told that maybe you can find another advisor.
Wow.
It would have been much, much better for the student and for you.
So then the advisor should play an honest part. Say,
Right.
listen, I'm very, my hands are full now.
Or I am not an expert in
In
this
this
area.
area.
Because if you are an expert and you're interested, you can't be stopped as an advisor. You are interested in pushing the student along. This
Yes.
is my own personal experience, and this can help both
The students
student and you.
Yeah, I think we will talk more about the expertise and things like that. I want to come to Catherine. Catherine, there are pitfalls in writing dissertation, particularly some of the pitfalls that I want you to talk about is what are the pitfalls that advisors should be aware of in advising students, and what are the pitfalls that advisors should be aware of in advising their students. So
one pitfall that I can think of is, the assumption that we are good.
we as a student,
Yes,
Yeah.
we are MA students, we are PhD students, we know how to write dissertation. So that should not be the mindset, no. So you have to diagnose the level of the student so
Yeah.
that you can provide the necessary remediation or the needs of the students.
okay.
So there should not be, how do you call this one, under supervision or over supervision.
Okay.
Would you like me to elaborate on that?
I
Or
like
that's
that. Can you
under-
elaborate?
Yeah, under supervision, the advisor has no time to give advice to the student. Or so aside from being very busy, maybe the advisor thinks that this student is really good, so he or she does not need my a lot of advice
Input.
anymore, input. That's right. So this under supervision. Over supervision sometimes that restricts the creativity or the independence of the student.
I think one of the pitfall of the under supervision is that you don't give feedback to the student, but during defense, it's when you bring the hard question that you're supposed to bring throughout
That's
the
right.
process. But anyways, Dr. Prema, what is
Yes.
your point of view?
Yes, I just I'm amused at that because many times when we ask questions during defense, the audience may be wondering, or the student may be wondering,
Yeah, why didn't
this professor tell me this? Ask me before.
That's right.
And
I think we need to an
This
episode
is
of
sad.
dissertation question and answer. Yes, Dr. Prema, go ahead.
yeah, and so the advisor's role is to just give enough challenge for the student that you don't overprotect and overguide, but don't neglect. Don't make them orphans, like as if there's no one to help them.
Yes.
There are such feelings that can creep
Ah,
in.
it does.
And so you're there, but you're not really there for them. So plan a certain sequence from the beginning with the student, how often the feedback will be. Okay, and give them leeway. Sometimes the students need a breathing time when they may need more time to give the next round of the
Yes.
document.
Yes.
Okay, so understand that, but gently check how things are going. Okay, and always with love.
Always with
I
love.
like
Yeah.
that.
I like that. Because sometimes when you receive back your paper, read, then at the end of the day, what did you do? This next question is sensitive in a sense that it goes this way. Most AIIAS dissertation writing students will often complain of lack of timely feedback from dissertation committee members. Other students share that when meeting the advisor will tell a student he or she was busy, so he did not have time to look at your paper. What do you think should be the role of the institution to provide work assignments to faculty who are advising students, particularly when the faculty will say, "I'm too busy"? Dr. Prema.
Yes, you cannot be so busy that you don't have time to do what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, this is the first and underlying fact. All right, your job description as a professor in the graduate school entails that you have this responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is the first thing. And yes, there are times maybe sickness came in, or you had an unusual busy week. But that can be understood by the student. Okay,
Correct,
may
correct.
I just take another 3 days to do this because, I was not well. Or, okay, my child was not well. Okay, unusual delays.
Correct.
Okay, but it can't be
Every now and
something
again.
that is regular. Yeah. And time management of the professor is important too. What I personally do is I have a list of all my advisees and the committee member where I am, or methodologist where I am. And I just make sure almost every day I look at the list, okay, and keep track of, okay, when did the student give and when did I respond. Usually my response is sometime the same day or 2 days or 3 days or so. And if it is maximum 1 week, I myself feel very guilty about that. But I make sure that the student knows about it, that I need a little extra time.
Time.
Yeah. But there is a rule that 2 weeks
Yes.
can be the turnaround time.
Turnaround time.
Yeah. But I never want to wait that long.
I think I want to be in your committee.
You will
Catherine, tell us.
Yeah, it's a sensitive topic, and the answer might be sensitive as well. But before I answer that, I just want to say that I'm very lucky because all the members of my panel promptly give
No, you're
feedback.
blessed.
Yes. It's them, I think, who are waiting for me to submit manuscript. That's right. So
I know
I'm
Dr.
so
Prema will
shy.
email you.
Now, I do not know if this is possible, but and I do not know if AIIAS is doing this one.
I
but
want you to look at that side.
I do not know if I'm going to emphasize it. Maybe we can have a monitoring system or structure.
I think they are doing that. But
They're doing it.
continue, yeah.
And I do not know if it's possible that so when they monitor, they will know who are giving timely feedback, who are not giving timely feedback.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, is it possible to give lesser load to those who are not,
Faculties.
faculty members who are not giving timely feedback?
Yeah.
If they're saying that they have a lot of workload, then lessen their load. Or they will not be given overload.
Correct. Well, it's a good suggestion. I hope we will take note of it. That's why I said, what will be the role of the institution? So we are here to discuss. We are not here to say that should be, but at least giving suggestion. And your suggestion is much welcome. There is in graduate school, there is what they call, at least they call it soft launch of dissertation and writing. It was a soft launch. They launched it, I think, 2 weeks or a week ago, wherein it's a platform, I think a Moodle, where you submit, and then you'll I think either the administrator will also see who is the faculty who is giving feedback on time and so forth. So it's ongoing. I think they're still developing it, but then I think by the time you begin with your deep writings, you'll be able to use that platform. So that is one. Now, talking about timely feedback, I was told by one of your students, Dr. Prema, that no, it's a good thing. In fact, I can acknowledge that for that, because it's a good thing. It's Dr. Ipu. She said every week you will meet with them or her. I'm not speaking about her. Every week you'll have that meeting with all the students, and Ipu will tell that since you are not here on campus, you will do it through Zoom. So that is, I think, advisor support. But could it be that other faculties are not doing so? What would be your suggestion to that?
Wow, that is a wonderful reminder for me. Yes, this has been an avenue for encouragement and for motivating the students. That we are advisors of. My husband and I happen to be professors in the same department, and so we have put this years ago actually, where we meet through Zoom, especially those students who are away. Writing students tend to leave many
Correct.
times after completing their coursework. There are some distance DLC students who are also in the writing stage. So every Sunday, without fail actually, we have met for an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, all the advicees of ours, and we hear the updates from them, how things have moved in 1 week, and then what are the targets for the next week. And so they're accountable. Others are listening, and they also help one another.
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't find an platform or app for analysis. Oh, somebody else who is ahead of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I have used this one.
Okay.
Okay, and it's available, and the link and so on. They share with one another. And a lot of testimonies have come where
Yes.
students have told this has helped them a lot, and it's like a class.
Yes.
Remember, dissertation writing or thesis writing is a lonely
Journey.
journey, and so they feel they are now together, supported by one another, and most importantly by the advisor. And advisor too can tell, I gave that feedback, already. So it's like an accountability for the advisor, and others are encouraged. Oh, yeah, the advisor gave the feedback to that person. I better finish also so I can get feedback soon.
The feedback.
Yeah.
Yes, very good. In fact, building on what you started is what we have created, or what we have developed, the PhD writing support, the
Yes,
one
I
we
know.
have every Friday. We also have the accountability part where each of us will present and we give comments. Of course, you still have your committee, but at least we look at the
Yeah.
document and we look it in a very focused way. We look at the writing, we look at the citation. So when your document goes to your committee, at least we have done the academic right preliminaries. So
This is a very nice thing, because as PhD or master students, you are also learning how to advise
Correct.
in the future.
Yes.
And it helps you in your own writing
Correct.
right now.
correct,
Yeah.
that's true. So Catherine, which support structure do you use when your committee fails to provide timely feedback? Do you talk to them, or they talk to you? Because I understand that's you who's not submitting the work.
That's right. So again, they are giving timely feedback. So whenever I submit a manuscript, but even though I receive timely feedback from them, I also have other support groups
Okay.
from other departments.
Okay.
I always drop by Dr. Leroy's office
Yes.
and talk with him about my paper,
Yeah.
and then he will give suggestions
Yeah.
like that, and the other professors as well.
Mhm.
And then the writing group.
Yeah.
I think you had that group.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And we have the learning center.
Correct.
And the librarians, they are so helpful.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
And other students.
Definitely. So, Dr. Prema, how do you build a strong and supportive relationship with your students as you are the advisor?
Yeah, it pays to have students or advisees who have been your students. You know them as a professor, and you know their strengths and their feedback. Their weaknesses, and so we kind of count on their strengths and encourage them in that area, okay, and assist them if they have writing difficulties. We have noticed that in classes, okay, and you can suggest help, and you yourself can help a lot in the editing work. Personally, I'm very interested in editing the students' work. I just cannot read through if the formatting and the grammar is not up to it. It's not that I am a super expert in that. So that helps the students a lot, actually,
Correct.
when the teacher is showing how this is done.
Yes.
And so in the subsequent drafts or subsequent chapters, they already know, what they can be careful about.
Sure.
And we know what their drawbacks are. When do they get easily discouraged? So we don't do anything that will push them too much, okay, but encourage them, okay, and show them other sources of help.
Definitely.
Yeah, so these are some of the things that can really help. The advisor's role is really to see, the writing as connected, one to another. The arguments, the rationale, are they coming through properly? Is the student following the standards of writing? Yeah, these are things that the committee chair can really look at and help with.
All right.
Okay, and so this role is amazing. I really enjoy
Wonderful.
this creative part of the writing, the student.
Very good. So, Catherine, how do you build a strong relationship with your advisor
Yeah, building
or
on
your committee?
on what Doc Prema said, one thing is maybe the advisors also should emphasize what is good and what the student has written. Yes, because it hurts if what you hear are all
Bad.
things to improve, something like that.
Yeah, recommendation.
It's so encouraging if you hear something that, wow, you're good at this is your strength, and then maybe
That's true.
yeah, another one I'm thinking, Doc Prema, is informal engagement. I think she's doing it also,
Yeah.
you know, inviting advices or her students in their house and have dinner or lunch, something like that. And then talk of
Now
other
I have more reasons
things.
to be your student.
Oh.
Not only about the dissertation topic, but you can engage in other topics. So I think that can build a closer, stronger relationship.
What about communication? Does it plays a role? Open communication, knowing that we have different cultures and we approach people differently.
That's right. That's right. Open communication, and then being receptive to other people's culture, being understanding. It's like, and yeah, open communication. If you feel that how your advisor gave you remarks, the remarks given by your advisor,
It's
you know,
harsh.
yeah, and then if you're open, you can tell to your
Talk to,
advisor.
yeah.
You talk to the advisor.
Yes, I think open communication is very good, particularly because communication, one of the issues of communication is perception, particularly during writing. Whatever you write, it's not what I might understand.
That's right.
That's why I'm very careful what I write on when I communicate with people, because I'm afraid you may not understand the same way I wish to communicate that message. Yes, Dr.
And for the advisor, sometimes the communication of the student can be rather rough.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I have experienced this. Because usually I give immediate feedback.
Correct.
Okay, almost the same day or 2 days. So sometimes the students kind of take advantage of that. Okay, after 2 days, in case if the feedback didn't come,
Yes.
okay, they bug the teacher. Okay, I didn't hear from you, and so on. And so I need to breathe. Okay, I need to, so that I won't. Okay, don't you know that there are 2 weeks of time? No, I should not be thinking like that. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, I haven't yet read. Okay, so I have to calm down and kind of tell the student, yes, I'm thinking about your paper. And after 1 more day or 2 days, I think I will be able to complete it. Okay, so sometimes the students really get all worked up, though there's no justification for that kind of excitement.
Correct. Communication is very important. I think we have to be very careful on how you communicate with the student. I like what Catherine said. You said a professor or advisor should look in your strength, in your paper, and comment on that.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's discouraging when all you see is what are you trying to say? Can you clarify your points? Which is okay. It's a good question. But then if in case of those miscommunication, what I advise is, can you kindly look at for your professor and say, Prof, I didn't understand what you wrote here. What do you mean? And when it comes for feedback, Dr. Prema, a student and I from the seminary, we are just talking. He said, Eddie, sometimes when we send our papers, at least an acknowledgement. Student,
That's right.
I have received your document. You will hear from me within 2 weeks.
This is very, very important.
Yes.
This is something I have tried to do. The same day you can respond.
Yes.
Yeah, I have received it. Give me 3 days.
Yes,
or
yes.
give me a week. Even that's fine. But
Yes.
just let that be known. Students may be just wondering
if you receive or not.
Sometimes emails may not go through properly.
Correct.
And so it's just a good habit, I think, from the part of the advisor.
All right. So we are actually about to end. Maybe a quick question, and the last one will be: what advice will you give to students, Dr. Prema, about navigating the future of academic research? That will be for both of you. Maybe begin with Dr. Prema.
Yes. May you know that this is one of the best experiences academically in your life, and you must enjoy it. All right, and the committee members surely have a big role to play, especially the advisor, and pray for the advisor and the committee so that they will be of great support to you. And may it not be seen as a burden, but a once in a life experience most often. Okay, so this is not something you may repeat usually. All right, and so enjoy the journey.
Enjoy
this is
the
what
journey.
I would say.
Good. Thank you, Dr. Prema. Catherine.
Okay, let me continue with enjoy the journey. And therefore, let us not make research a lonely journey. Yeah? There are resources. There are support groups.
Correct.
We are very lucky here in AIIAS. We have a lot of support groups. We have to utilize the support groups.
Yeah.
And, research is life.
Yeah.
Embrace it. We cannot do anything about it. Even in the seminary, they do research. In education, we have to base our decisions on research. So everything around us is product of research. So let us embrace, and then again, let us not make a lonely journey, because we are here. We are here, and Dr. Prema is here.
I just want to also tell, may this not be true about advisors. They say teachers in the elementary school care for their students, and teachers in the secondary school care for the subjects, the subject area, and teachers in higher education care for themselves.
Yes.
All right, their own research, their publications, and so on. Those are important. May we care for the students and our advisees, okay, and help them move on, because this is what they will do in turn later. How we treat them as advisors is the way that they will treat
The next ones.
the next generation
Correct.
researchers. Okay, so I myself have experienced it, because my advisor helped me and encouraged me to finish on time. I finished my dissertation in 1 year.
Wow.
And so this is my goal for my students.
Look at that.
All right. And so as much as possible, I'm trying to help them.
So what about
That way.
those who say those who finish in 10 years?
Remember, there are other difficulties that come that
Yes.
the advisor may not be in control of.
Correct. So this is the challenge in thesis and dissertation writing, students and advisor perspective. That was a conversation. Dr. Prema, we are going to close, but we have this advertisement rubric. What is the advertisement rubric, you may ask? It's about a professor, a student from wherever department he or she is, and will tell a good things about their departments. Maybe someone out there is watching and want to come to AIIAS. So by listening to you, the person would like to join the education department. So what, as a professor at AIIAS Graduate School, could you describe at least 2 benefits students get after or during their completions in the program here at AIIAS?
Yes, we professors care for our students personally, all right? And so we know their individual needs, and, we want to help you very much. And this help comes not only in teaching you as best as possible or the courses that you have to take, but also in the research journey. We want to ensure that you complete your master's thesis or dissertations on time. Okay, and this is the ideal time of 1 year.
Yes.
Or, okay, maybe a little over that. But we will ensure that from our part, we will help you complete your work on time.
Wow. So if you come to AIIAS Graduate School Education Department,
Yes.
Catherine is a witness here.
Yeah.
You will finish on time. You will finish on time. You have the faculty support. You have timely feedback, and they will guide you until completion of your program. Is that what you say, Dr. Prema?
That's right.
That's correct. So,
And I want to remind everyone about the special Moodle
yes.
platform that is created. I'm so excited about it. And this will be such a blessing to the students and also to the faculty.
Correct.
Yeah, and I don't have to use my old-fashioned way of looking at the computer grid and trying to see who is doing what, and it's all there in the Moodle platform.
Very good.
Wow.
So come to AIIAS, as they said here, comes to AIIAS and your life will never be the same. Until then, thank you so much for being here with us, Dr. Prema and Catherine. We have learned a lot. I hope you also learn a lot. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video with your friends. Until then, God bless you. Bye-bye.